Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Let me take this moment to reintroduce myself. I am the Gothic Rose, hostess of the Dark Entertainment Network. This is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories and makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. I do this because I enjoy it. If you like this type of content, please follow along, because I'm not going to stop. Welcome back, fiends of the den. This is a dark tale and a hot mess of Hollywood mixed into one, because I spoke out against what Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are doing in bulldozing over domestic violence with these sexual harassment claims and trying to make it more important. And I am not the only creator being targeted. Be Better, who had one of his videos taken down. This was reported by Candace Owens and others. Another woman, I cannot remember her name at the moment, but she had her video silenced. And mine are just being shadow banned. And I know for a fact that I did have an online altercation with Plantation Khaleesi herself, who has just hired, according to page 6, ex-CIA honcho as crisis PR manager in her Justin Baldoni legal battle. Why does one need an ex-CIA honcho as a crisis PR manager? Let's get to that. But for a moment, let me just say that I have been trying to make a part 3 about Joy Harris and talk about her racing accomplishments. And I'm getting nothing from my Bing Copilot that was giving me the whole story yesterday. And I'm getting not much from her Wikipedia page, which again, strangely looks like it has much less to it. But if you've been following Shushti Flaw, her Wikipedia page has been changed many times. Just a quick reminder of the fact that Joy Harris would still be here today were it not for these factors right here that led to her very untimely death. Her accident was not rider caused. It was the producers of Deadpool, and they were only fined $289,562 for failing to provide a safe work environment. Yet there's a Deadpool 3 and how many hundreds of millions to be made out of the hundreds of millions that have already been made? All right, so Blake Lively has hired former CIA powerhouse to be her crisis manager as her legal drama with Justin Baldoni continues to rage on. This article is by Leah Bitsky, and it was published on February 28th and updated later on the same evening. So Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to former director John Brennan to help with legal strategy, he has been hired. I don't know why. Why would you need a CIA agent unless you wanted to mess with small content creators and people who disagree with you online? The whole thing seems very odd to me. The litigation team for Miss Lively retained Mr. Shapiro to advise on the legal communication strategy for the ongoing sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit occurring in the Southern District of New York. Do you want some advice? Don't sue people for sexual harassment when you're making a movie about domestic violence and completely bulldoze over the entire message of the movie and then have reporters be banned from asking you questions about domestic violence. Maybe sticking to the subject at hand and not doing something like this is smarter and then maybe not targeting small content creators who, with their eagle eyes, are reading through all of your legal papers and your BS. And maybe also not screwing with small creators who are trying to advocate for domestic violence like myself. And with that, I just want to take a moment to ask you to please support peaceoverpieces.org. You can find the book Peace Over Pieces, anthology book by survivors of abuse, on Amazon for $18. 100% of the proceeds goes to help victims escape domestic violence situations. If you go over to peaceoverpieces.org and buy some merch, again, 100% of the proceeds goes to victims. The creator of Peace Over Pieces is Clara Baldwin. She is a phenomenal woman that does not get enough recognition. So please look her up on Instagram and TikTok. Please follow and please support. Thank you so much. It means so much to myself and every other survivor out there and victim who's going through it right now who does not have a voice. May I please remind you that this is silent for a reason. Please listen to your friends and notice and learn the signs of domestic violence and do everything you can to help your friends escape. Now, getting back to it, I had gone on, like I said, to Flossom Talk and spoke very candidly about how I feel about domestic violence versus what has been done in the media to push sexual harassment forward. And again, just silence victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. So I spoke out about it. And as I said, I lived in the same town as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and I heard two firsthand stories about how rude they were, two teenagers in the town, and these kids are really nice, well-mannered kids. So if they got excited because they saw a superstar, give it to them, give them the flex, but they didn't. So I'm sure that they got mad that I said that. And then I went, like I said, onto my Facebook page and I go balls to the wall on my Facebook page because I've been trying to get banned. I can't stand Meta. They took away my Instagram account that was making me money. I have no access to it. I have lost money because of Meta. So anyway, I go and I say that I'm just done with those two. I called them Hollywood morons for just bulldozing over domestic violence. And like I said, I knew someone that worked for him whose name I never put out there publicly. But I did for a half a second in this clip after he tried to take me down for speaking out and advocating for domestic violence. So that went viral. And I appreciate everyone who's supporting. But again, I'm not speaking for me. You have to think forward when you're talking about domestic violence because someone else is going through it now. It's behind you, but someone else has bad days ahead of them, bad nights ahead of them. And we have to think about these things and we have to keep speaking out about it because for those of us who were able to escape the situation, we have to let other people know who are out there listening that you can make your plans and you can go too. So to have my Google, whatever it is, Microsoft AI companion be so I come upstairs to my studio and I sign on to Bing AI chat. And I have been using Bing AI chat to pull all of my references together for every story that I do. So that way I don't have to look in 100 places. It's all there. I have been doing this every day for months. So while my videos are being shadow banned and all of these things are happening and people are being rude and all this stuff, somehow I get signed out of my Microsoft Copilot and then have to go and use a single-use code to get back in that did not work 4 times and finally worked and let me back in. And then I find that Joy Harris's Wikipedia page has so much less to it. So is that what this CIA person is doing? Is that what you were hired for? Because that is unethical. And that's on you, though, and your clients. But I just want to say for anyone out there, for small creators like myself, or those of us who have a little more of a big following and are being silenced even more, keep speaking out. But more than that, if you have survived a domestic violence situation, please speak out about as much of your story as you are comfortable with and let other people know that they can get out and they can escape, because that is what we need more than anything. So let's continue to pick through the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni lawsuit and pull it apart and take the people who haven't been honest and push them to the side and push forward those who try to do the right thing and try to have integrity. And with that, I thank you for joining me in the den.